Hello, this is Dr. Whiting, and welcome to Part 7 of our online training program. I want to continue now with our targeted nutritional supplements to tell you a little bit more about why we develop them and for whom they might be best suited. We left off with Digestes on Part 6, and as I said there, that is probably one of the most important supplements because it brings instant gratification and relief from digestive disorders. We'll continue now with one of our most popular formulas, and this formula is called Stress-Ease. Stress-Ease is nutritional support for the adrenal glands, essentially. Now, the adrenal glands are two glands that sit just above your kidneys, and they are responsible for producing what we call the fight or flight hormones, the adrenalins, the stress hormones, and so on. And when the adrenal glands are overstressed, because we're under higher amounts of stress and anxiety for prolonged periods of time, these glands can become exhausted. And when they do, they produce an excess amount of a hormone called cortisol. Now, you may have heard of cortisol on the infomercials at 3 a.m. for these various products. Well, cortisol is a hormone that naturally occurs in all of us. But when we become under longer periods of stress, the adrenal glands produce excess amounts of cortisol, and one of the many side effects of this excess hormone production is weight gain, because the hormone in excess amounts alters the metabolism and causes weight gain, especially around the midsection. And so this formula can be ideal in assisting someone with weight loss if it is a result of stress and excess cortisol. Other people, of course, who use this formula include people who suffer from anxiety, who are under higher periods of stress in their life, and so on. And because there's millions of people who are living under high amounts of stress, Stress-Ease is one of our most important and highly popular formulas. The next formula I want to talk about is called Cholestes. Cholestes is nutritional support for regulating cholesterol. If you have elevated cholesterol, which we consider above 220 total cholesterol, it is a sign of a liver problem. You see, in a healthy person, the liver regulates cholesterol automatically. The more cholesterol you consume in your diet, the less your liver produces. If you go on a low-fat diet, over a period of a few months, the cholesterol from the liver increases. Now, when you have excess cholesterol, even when you try to watch your weight and exercise, it's a sign of a liver malfunction. So our cholesterol formula, called Cholestes, offers a nutritional support in several ways. First of all, it contains a variety of high-fiber substances which have been shown to help eliminate serum or blood cholesterol. Secondly, it contains nutrients that address liver function to help the liver to regulate cholesterol more effectively and more accurately. Cholestes, together with a full-spectrum nutrition product, has lowered the cholesterol levels in thousands and thousands of people already. We have clubs around the country who have hundreds of members that no longer are dependent on dangerous statin drugs because of this formula. The next formula I want to talk about is called Glucocrave Extreme. Glucocrave Extreme was developed by us originally for type 2 diabetes and clinical hypoglycemia. We have since broadened our use of this to people who are moderate to severely carbohydrate intolerant. Glucocrave Extreme regulates insulin production. It helps to lower insulin levels, and it helps to thereby increase insulin receptor site function. Now, this is vitally important for type 2 diabetics. It is also very important for hypoglycemics and those who are moderate to severely carbohydrate intolerant. Because the more carbohydrate intolerant a client is, the more they are what we call either insulin resistant or their body is producing excess insulin. In either case, Glucocrave is a formula that addresses both problems at the same time. Also, once insulin levels are lowered, the cravings for starch and sugary foods begin to slowly disappear because they are driven by the appetite center of the brain solely due to excess insulin production. The next formula I want to talk about is our joint and connective tissue formula. It is found under the Curves label, and it provides nutritional support for joints, cartilage, connective tissue, so it's ideal for people who have lost cartilage in the joint, have got inflammation in joints, who have lost flexibility due to connective tissue breakdown, and so forth. And it's excellent for people suffering from arthritis, bursitis, tendinitis, carpal tunnel, and all those types of related joint and connective tissue issues. The next formula is called Herbal Fem. And Herbal Fem is another formula found under the Curves label, and it is also designed specifically for women. This formula was developed for those ladies in the menopause or postmenopausal who are suffering a variety of complications due to hormone imbalances. Now, for millions of women, they go through the menopause and feel great. But there's always a few 100,000 in any population that have the hot flashes, the mood swings, the night sweats, the depression, all of those types of things. And Herbal Fem, under the Curves label, is an ideal way to address that problem and provide nutritional support that can help the adrenal glands, that can help a wide variety of endocrine systems to help balance that individual's hormone response. In part 8 of this, I would like to continue with a discussion of several of our targeted nutrition formulas. The purpose of this discussion is so that you, and more importantly your staff, can feel comfortable talking with clients and members about these various formulas, knowing when to recommend them and to whom to suggest them. So in part 8 we will continue our discussion of calcium and why it's so important to take the right form. Thanks for listening.